dumbbell retrieve, but we always start with the dowel first, just in case there are any mistakes. They're limited to the dowel. Now I'm taking a different approach today. What we're doing is we're pretty much employing the dog's play drive / prey drive. And it's a little bit more easier for the dog. For some dogs, it's fun. There's not as much pressure put on the dog. It's a great exercise or technique for, let's say, handler sensitive dogs or dogs that have a lot of prey drive, because like I said, you can engage their play drive and prey drive immediately and get the dog to bite, to pull, and to hold fairly quick without any type of conflict or very minimal conflict. Again, I will reserve this for dogs that show a little bit more in the way of handler sensitivity, meaning that we have some dogs that, again, because of the relationship between the handler and dog, they may tend to show a little bit more avoidance when it concerns the handler and work, or some dogs that actually get a little bit more handler aggressive. So this way now, we can basically have the dog in a more neutral state. And it's fun. Like I said, the dog gets a chance to bite, to pull, and at the same time, using the same technique that we do in protection training when we deliver the bite, and then the dog carries the sleeve, and we do the cradle. We can do the same thing with the dowel. I'll show you.
Oh, yeah. Good boy, buddy. Yeah. Fight. Oh, good boy.
I work my way up. I come underneath, and I cradle. Good boy. Do a little test. Beautiful. Good hold, buddy. And then when it's time, I reward him with some play again.
Fight. Oh, yeah. Good job. Oh, good boy. Oh, feel that resistance. Oh.
Every time he shakes or he pulls, I basically relax the line, which again is a signal to the dog that he's winning. Then I put some pressure back into it again. Oh. Now I'm gonna work my way up the line. Oh, into a cradle position. I could even sit him. Sit. Good job, buddy. And get him to sit and hold. So with the beginner, we would, oh yeah, go into the fight and a lot of play. Oh, a lot of play. And then we can come up and just for a second we can do this. Yeah, and then play again. We're not gonna try and get him to hold it while we cradle him for like 10, 20 seconds, just like for a second, while we keep tension on the other end. Yeah, then we play again. Good boy. I'm gonna come back in, cradle, sit. Good, because this dog is at that level. Good boy. And then while he's holding it, and again, this dog is at another level, we'll give a little tug just to test it. Good boy. Very calm, gentle praise. Good boy, buddy. Just like that. Very simple. When you go into cradle, it's very important that you do not relax the line, because that would give the dog, especially the newbie, an opportunity to chew. So what you want to do is keep it under load. So you keep pressure, just like that. And normally what will happen is, we'll have him out at the end of the line. Now look at my back tie line. It's fairly snug as I work my way up. Oh, yeah, this guy knows the game. And what would happen is, let's see if I can bring him out again. Oh, good boy. With the back tie line tight, I come in just for a second, hold, and then I break again. Yeah. So you want, again, for everything to be under load. You need for the dowel with the attachments to be under load at the front, and the back tie line to also be under load. Good boy. Sit. Good boy. Keeping pressure on both ends, it does not allow the dog to chew, because what happens is he's going to feel that sensation of loss. So he's going to maintain the grip, which allows you to go in, cradle, 1 second, mark the behavior, and then we fight again. And before you know it, you can go from 1 second to 3 seconds to 5 seconds. I use 5 as the cap. And then what will happen is we're going to try and introduce the sit. So let's try that. We'll show you how we work that behavior. Keep it under load, and then I cradle, sit. So when I do the sit, as I'm pulling towards me, I'm literally lifting his head gently. Sit. By lifting the head and giving the command at the same time, the rear end will fall. I'll keep my hand like that, still keeping it under load. Do not take for granted. Do not assume that he's just gonna sit and hold. always be in a position of readiness. Then I'm gonna do this. Fight. Oh yeah, here we go again. Good. Work my way up, load, gentle pressure, sit. Good boy. Keep it there for a few seconds, or depending on where he is, maybe 1 or 2. Break. Yeah. Good job, buddy. Oh. Down. Good boy. So following the rules of shaping, we're gonna start with a little bit and we're gonna build upon that. So like I said, everything starts from 1 second. And then progressively we build to 2 to 3, 4, and so forth. Taking your time, thinking about everything you have to do. Remember, you're working on the back tie, and for the most part, you need that to be, again, taut, and the front end as well taut as you're working through it. The only time you're gonna get a little bit of slack is when the dog decides to fight. And even then, it's just for a moment. You don't want it to go slack and you're kind of hanging there for like 1,000, 2, 1. Now you're giving the dog opportunity to chew. Because your dog is not at that level as yet, you have to really help him. And one of the best ways of doing that is, like I said, 1 second of relaxation, then back into the fight again. 1 second of relaxation, back into the fight. What happens is the dog feels as though the prey is gonna leave. So he's going to automatically clamp down on the dowel, opposition reflex, and that's what we want. And then to add to that, when we have him under load, we come up, we touch, we go back out, and we fight again. And then you just build upon that. Like I said, it's one of the most enjoyable ways of teaching the retrieve through the play and prey drive. But again, handler skill. You've got to remember, when you're working with him, always have it controlled. One of the biggest mistakes I find many handlers make is they assume that the dog is just going to do it. Never assume. That's the wrong frame of mind. When I'm working with my dogs, I always assume that they're not going to do that. Why? Because then I'm always in a state of readiness. Now, I also have to know ahead of time what I'm going to do in the event, let's say, that the dog does make a mistake. I'm ready. But usually most people aren't, and that's where things go wrong. Once your dog now masters the sit and the hold, now we can start to get into a little bit more advanced exercises. So we can teach him to down with the dowel in his mouth. And ultimately, this is the behavior we want. Like literally, I can drop the line, good hold, and let the dog hold. And you can remind him, hold, and you walk around the dog. This is like proofing, good boy. Every so often you can mark it, good hold. I sometimes will go back in, I'll grab my line, do a little test, and then I drop it. I might go over to the other side, just like that. Good boy. And I keep reinforcing him. Come back, I'll do another test. So every time I pull, while I'm pulling and he holds steady, I mark while there's tension. So he understands, oh, that's what I'm doing correct. Good boy, good hold. Atta boy. Yeah. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. See if we can call him into position. Good, flex, come. Good boy. Keeping it up just in case I'm ready in the event. Good boy. And on the post, you can do many things. You can do the sit, you can do the down, you could actually do the heel. You have to go in obviously a lot closer to the post itself. And then you can do the front. So we can call him in position here. Good boy, yeah. And you notice I'm always in a position of readiness. Even though this dog is a little bit more advanced, I do not assume. I'm gonna keep my hand ready in the event of, and this is just to really reinforce the behavior of hold as I introduce the other exercises. Then we go back into the play again. But that boy, oh, good job, buddy. With this dowel, as you see, I have an eye bolt here at this end and an eye bolt at that end. And I contracted, I made a little attachment. So here's a little trigger attached to this leather strap here, and another trigger attached to this leather strap with a ring, which I would attach my leash to. Now we actually sell these dowels at our store, GK9GEAR.com, And they're great. Like I said, if your dog has a lot in the way of the prey drive and he likes to play, it's one of the best tools for teaching the dowel. Like I said, there's less stress involved. The dog learns fairly quick. The grip becomes really strong fast because he's always fighting back and forth, back and forth. And provided you have good skill, good energy, you can get him to maintain that nice solid grip, just like Flex. He bites, he holds like a vice. And it happens right away fairly quick with the least amount of conflict. Why? Because he's playing. He doesn't even realize that he's actually learning something as he's playing. That's the beauty of using the dowel with the 2 eye bolts on either end. Again, it simulates the tug work that we would do on the post or the pillow work. It's no different. The only difference is we're using a wooden dowel, and the dowel itself is 1 inch in width and about 12 inches in length. A nice simple construction. Like I said, we sell them at GK9GEAR.com, and we also have the dowel with just the 1 eye bolt on the one end with the leather strap for those that are using more traditional compulsion techniques in the way of teaching the retrieve. So there are many different ways you can teach the retrieve. You just have to find the one that works best for your dog. And like I said, for the sensitive dogs, the handler sensitive dogs that tend to show a little bit of avoidance towards their alpha, or the dog that tends to challenge the handler, this is probably one of the better methods because it takes that conflict out of the picture. I hope you guys got a lot of information from this. If you did, don't forget, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to hit that notification button at the bottom. This way, when we have new and upcoming videos, you're going to be alerted. Take care, guys.